Hey everybody, this is Mr. Beckett here. I'm in my literacy bat cave and I'm ready to show you everything you need to know about this year's 2016 OSSLT, the final frontier. All about the OSSLT. Well, the first thing you need to know is that the OSSLT this year is on March 31st. That's a Thursday, same day as the Oscars and semi-formal. So that day you need to clear your schedule, mark it down in your calendar. Don't get your teeth cleaned that day. Go to the dentist on another day. This is a day where you write the OSSLT in the morning, go to class in the afternoon, and enjoy the semi-formal dance in the evening. It's a big day, so plan on having that day booked off and do not go to a doctor's appointment on that day. You need the OSSLT to graduate, so it's very important that you show up on that day. The second thing you might ask is, what exactly does the test look like? Well, there are two sections with 2 booklets each, meaning for 4 booklets. The first section has a booklet for questions, a booklet for answers, and the second section has a booklet for questions and a booklet for answers as well. Now you're going to ask me, how long does it take to write it? Typically takes most of the morning. Most people have 2 times 75-minute periods. So 2 75-minute periods. Each 75-minute period, you write 1 section of the OSSLT. Some folks, with a break in between, obviously, with a break in between. Some folks will have a little bit of extra time based on IEP. The final thing is when do you find out whether or not you passed? Well, sometime in May or June, EQAO will mail out your results to you that will tell you whether or not you got the OSSLT this year. Just to give you an idea of what the test looks like, there's the question book and the answer book for section 1 from a sample. It looked exactly like this last year. Reading in the OSSLT, types of reading on the test. There are 3 categories of reading on the OSSLT. The first one is narrative texts. They're dialogues and real life stories. The second one is graphic texts, which is maps, charts, diagrams, and pictures. And the last one would be information texts, which includes information paragraphs and news reports. Whoop! The next thing we're going to introduce are the types of reading questions on the test. And in the next few weeks, teachers are going to go over those questions and give you the kind of tips and tricks to do really well on them. The first one is multiple choice. With multiple choice, you want to fill it in just so. You definitely don't want to have like Cookie Monster eyes or check marks or X's. Those are not what you want, so cross those out. You don't want those. What you really want to have is a nicely filled in bubble circle. The other type of question that you have from reading are open response questions, and basically they are 1 or 2 open response questions that are coming after you read the information paragraph, and basically you have 6 lines to complete your response based upon the reading that you've done. The reading skills you need to have for the OSSLT are reading directly stated information, indirectly stated information, and also making connections. Let's go over that real quick. Understanding what is directly stated seems pretty clear. The sun is hot today. Therefore, we can assume that the sun is hot today. The next is understanding what is stated indirectly. The sweat was pouring down the boy's face. From this, you could conclude that it was hot. Lastly, when making connections and understanding the connections between the story and your own experience and thoughts, the question would be, what would you pack if you were going to the place described in this story? A good answer would include hot weather clothing, showing that you understand that it's hot and that you can connect it to your own experience. The types of writing on the OSSLT include news reports, opinion paragraphs, short answer, and once again, multiple choice. There's an example of the news report. You see there's a headline and a picture, and the student has to write a news story to go with both. The opinion piece is a long opinion. In this case, it was on the benefits of a 2-month summer break. So the question was, do students benefit from the 2-month summer break? And the person had to write about that. Next one, short answer. Identify one action you take in your life to be healthy. And the person had to write 6 lines or a paragraph on that question. And finally, writing multiple choice. There's a paragraph that the student has to read and then identify which sentence is the best concluding sentence for that paragraph. The important writing skills that you need for OSSLT is identifying and having a main idea for your writing, organizing your writing into paragraphs that support your main idea, and some spelling and grammar skills. You may ask yourself, how am I to prepare for this OSSLT? And I know that this slideshow has had a lot of information and it may be a little bit overwhelming, but I want to make sure that you remember not to panic. Don't panic, because we have a plan. We are going to have a literacy blitz so that once a week we'll spend a little time, one day each week, over the next little while, going over everything that you need to know to ace this test. My recommendation to you is to pay attention, to keep your notes, and to do your best.